time, I would call the March meeting of the MSD of North Posey Board to order. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Slagle, if you will read the vision, mission, core beliefs, and high priorities.
All right, our vision. We inspire all students to achieve the potential for learning in life in a safe and supportive environment. Our mission. We partner with our community to create a dynamic and innovative educational experience, empowering students to become educated, productive, and responsible citizens. Our core beliefs. We believe our community is vital to our educational success. Everyone is valued and treated with respect, and always telling the truth, an educational opportunity for all. Student-centered programs, challenging and inspiring learning, in the pursuit of excellence through a strong sense of pride. Our high priorities, enhancing the student experience, investing in teachers and administrators, fostering strong relationships among all, and maximizing resources.
Thank you. So first up, we have patrons' concerns. We do have 4 folks signed up for that. Have you all gotten a chance to see our patrons' concerns policy? Okay. So we will. You want to see it?
No, we're not signing
You're
up.
not signing. Okay.
We're just here.
You're just here. Perfect. All right.
You take a seat.
Well, you are signed up, so if you'd like to speak. Okay. Well, thank you for attending. So then we are on to minutes, claim docket, and consent items. Mr. Slagle, if you don't mind reading through those.
All right, so we have our minutes of previous meeting from January 8th. And the following are FMLA and personal leave requests. Julie Saylor, Sarah Ashburn, Lori Lingefelter. We have hiring and transfer request from Rhonda Zubinski, Rachel Butler, J.C. Schmidt, Brittany Hester, Megan Helfert, and Casey Straub. We have our overnight and field trips. Robin Bender would like to take the FFA students to the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville on February 14th.
Yeah.
Is that the last? Is that the last?
I think they're in the minutes and not the info
Yeah.
sheet.
You're on last month's minutes.
First day.
There we go. Well, that's a nice recap. All right.
Some of them were similar.
We still have similar, yes. Rhonda is still on there with FMLA. Matthew Utley with FMLA. Lisa Brandenstein is requesting the 4 days leave. Chelsea Johnson requesting the 4 days leave. And Bonnie Gillis requesting 6 days. We have resignations and retirements. Chelsea Johnson will be resigning. And Sarah Ashburn resigns. The following hiring and transfer requests: Jamie Schmidt will be at North Elementary. Veronica Reynolds, working with our technology department. Brandon Barrett, Sydney Flowers, Rachel Newman, Lauren White to volunteer with girls tennis. Sorry, thank you. We have Jason Hain, Haley Lowe, Jack Lowe, and Kevin Wassmer to volunteer with our softball coaching. Now the overnight trips and state field trips, out-of-state field trips. Shannon Schickel would like to take the Business Professional Academy students to the state leadership contest in Indianapolis in March. Natalie would like to take our Project Lead the Way biomedical students to Wabash Valley College for their health and career and cadaver presentation in March. And Natalie would like to take our HASA students to the Indiana Annual State Leadership Conference in Indianapolis in April. Then we have the following renewals. Frontline Education, 1-year renewal for applicant tracking and recruiting modules. Check them out.
You can throw the.
That would be $16,000. That's a slight increase from last year. Our Lane Company renewal with our Konica copiers. That will be an increase of, well, that would be a total for $1,500 for the year. It's a increase of $100 per month. I did have Sherry go through and look at that, definitely configure, and it wasn't that much of a cost savings.
Looking for a motion to approve the consent items as presented.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes and consent items.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second, on to discussion.
I had a question on the copiers. Is that all of our copiers? Is that where we rent all of them and all the buildings start for $1,500?
That's a black and white copier and a color copier, and all the buildings will have a black and white copier, and here, and then at the central office, there's a color copier.
For $1,500 a month?
Correct.
I think that's a lot cheaper than I thought it would end up being.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a question about the frontline education. What do we get for that?
We can post all of our jobs in frontline application education. It also tracks all of our paperwork. So as a new hire, I got to put in all of my information, my personal information for tax purposes. And anything I'm really leaving out there, Amy can.
No, I mean, that's the gist of it. I mean, we also use it for all of our employees, like for open enrollment. Back when I used to just email out all the things, it's an electronic version now.
So there's definitely a return.
For the employees, it's time consuming for me to then read through it, but for the employees and new employees especially, they don't have to enter their information all those times. It saves that, uploads that, puts that on the forum for them, and it's definitely nice for new ones coming in especially, but then we also do our open enrollment through it too.
Okay.
Is this where if somebody's applying for a job, they go
That
through
as well,
this?
yeah,
So
we've got both
everything
modules.
goes through there.
We've got both modules.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. New business. Airmark.
Yeah, because you said it to me PDF, it wasn't in a PowerPoint.
That's okay. I just didn't know there was a go
I'll take care of it.
Okay. Well, very new faces. My name is Hannah. A little bit about me. I started my food service journey as a dietary aide, and then I worked my way up to a health and safety nutrition position as a Head Start manager. And then I came here, and I've been here for almost a year, and I've really enjoyed it.
We're just gonna dig in.
All right, so this shows our total meals per service days. So this includes our breakfast, lunch, and our equivalent meals. This was ran from August to February. As you can see, we increased your meal participation in about 5 months. There was a couple of shortfalls within a couple of months. Please scroll down. You'll see the numbers a little bit more closely. We increased the meal participation between 2 to 8%. We did have a couple of those shortfalls in September and January. In September, we're thinking it was from that 30-day carryover from the free and reduced applications. And then in January, there were a lot of illnesses roaming around, and that can affect our ADA. Does anybody have any questions? So now to the fun part. I did a healthy habits taste testing event for South Terrace at the beginning of the year. This was really fun. I did this at recess time for the first and third graders. So what I did is I set up an assortment of fruits and veggies with a garlic hummus and a cookie hummus. And I did a nutrition education around it. The garlic hummus didn't go over too well, but our house-made cookie hummus went really, really well. And we were surprised to know that hummus is made from chickpeas. So this was really fun. If you want to scroll down. So this is Ace. He is the student nutrition mascot. And Ace does a lot of things. He plays sports, he reads books, he's very involved in academics, and he is our driving force behind our Ace Kits, which is what we get monthly for the elementary schools. You scroll down just a little bit. So every month we get marketing items and Ace Kits. And so monthly we get stickers, we get crayons, we get pencils, we get sticker books, Klingons, posters, things like that. And we administer those to the elementary school managers, and they hand them out to the kids during meal times. Like this one recently, this was from National School Breakfast Week, and it's a sticker book, and we pass those out to the kids who attended breakfast. And if you noticed in the previous slide, we also get a chef hat. I did a very fun activity with Miss Colley's preschoolers at North Elementary. We made apple donuts. So pretty much we cut up the donuts and cut up the apples into donuts, and we spread some butter and yogurt and sprinkled on sprinkles and chocolate chips. And I did nutrition education around the health benefits of apples. So this was very fun. So these are our LTOs. These are our limited time offers. We offer these at the junior high school once a month, every month. As you see here in September, we offer the Chipotle cheesy bean nachos. That went over very well. I never thought I would see junior high school kids eat beans, and they are requesting for this to come back. And in October, we did an egg roll in a bowl. That went over pretty well. In November, we did a spicy beef gyro. And then in January, we did a turkey barbacoa quesadilla. And then this month, we're doing a spicy chicken mole taco. And we also did a lot of taste testings. This was from the Chipotle cheesy bean nachos in September. This was with the gyro. I did it with the students and the board in November. Yeah. And then these are our special events promotions. So we have National Food Days, and we celebrate those days with the food that we provide. Here we have National Pizza Day, and we celebrated with Pizza Crunchers, which is also a huge crowd pleaser among the elementary school kids. We had National Nacho Day. We served dirt pudding parfaits. And we had sandwiches on National Sandwich Day. As you can see in the back, you'll see our Klingons. That's part of our marketing items that we receive monthly. This is training and development. So this is how Aramark uses our local resources. This is Tim Stoner. He's over North Knox, Lagodi, and North Davies. He is a certified chef and a ServSafe certified instructor. He came on site, he taught on food safety practices, culinary techniques, culinary practices, how to properly cut fruit and vegetables to eliminate waste, and he taught on garnishing. And this was one of the products for that.
That was with the staff, right?
Yes, with the staff. Yes, Larry. Yes. So the goals for the 24-25 school year, in addition of some specialty items at the junior high school, we serve every day spicy chicken sandwiches, cheeseburgers, pepperoni pizza, and cheese pizzas. I would like to add like a specialty pizza for that 1 week every month. Some of those specialty pizzas include mac and cheese pizza, like a Hawaiian pizza, Chipotle barbecue chicken pizza, a chicken bacon ranch pizza. Also, maybe a specialty burger, like bacon cheeseburgers, Chipotle barbecue cheeseburger, and a crisp cut cheesy fry burger. Some other additions would be some grab and go items at both the schools. That would be like a spicy chicken salad, a crispy chicken salad, or any wraps. Also, of course, continuously improving on food quality and food advertisement and presentation, ensuring that our plates look plentiful and full and very appeasing to the eye. Improving on our social media management. I would like to start doing a weekly wellness post, things that cover health and wellness, healthy recipe ideas, or food blogs. Posts around what makes a reimbursable meal. So we talk about what makes a reimbursable meal with the parents at the beginning of the year, but sometimes parents can lose sight of that. So it's so important to keep that as a reminder. Plus, there's always a sprinkle of new parents and kids that come in throughout the school year. And breakfast promotion. So breakfast is very, very important in the eyes of the state. So lots of breakfast promotion is very essential. Continue with taste testings at the elementary and junior high schools. Like I said, I conducted 2 at the junior high school this year, 1 at South Terrace, and then 1 will be conducted either this month or next month at North Elementary. Keep in continuous communication with the board and administration. I've been sending monthly NJRs, or we could do biannual CBRs like the ones we're doing right now. Doing weekly meetings with our school food authority. Using QR codes to conduct surveys with the staff and students, and then meeting with the student council biannually. That's so we can have more feedback on what the students and staff want. And then lastly, more praise and recognition to the food service team. Providing that monthly recognition to the things that they could accomplish, like being, Serve Safe certified, their meal growth, if they're growing their meals within their sites, how they interact with the staff and students, and providing more hands-on training with the staff. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was about to ask.
Do you provide everything for our meals and our staff just prepares it, or how does that work?
What do you mean, like, do we purchase the food and everything?
Yes.
Yes,
And
we
you
purchase.
bring everything in and they just prepare it and serve it.
Yes.
Okay.
Airmark buys it all, then we have the district staff that prepares and serves the meals.
They don't do like the free cheese and stuff like that that they used to send out to schools.
We do?
No, we do.
So there's still a commodity program, the USDA commodity
Oh,
program.
yes, I'm so
So-
sorry. I didn't know what you meant by that. Yes, we get lots of commodities, and that is like from lettuce to cheese to fruits to vegetables. So
And
yes,
the plate lunch is all, ingredients for that is all furnished
Yes.
by you too.
yes.
And you all plan it, or does the
Yes.
staff get to plan it?
Yes, we do. And that's another thing too, moving forward too. I plan to work more with our district food service director and our staff to create, our menus.
Anyone else have any questions?
Thank you.
Deanna.
Thank you.
Yes.
Next order of business. During the time of our superintendent search, we have Mr. Kavanaugh serving as our interim superintendent and Mrs. Duval serving as our junior high principal. I would like to propose that we pay a $40 per day stipend to Mr. Kavanaugh for the time he served as interim superintendent. And Mrs. Duval shall be paid as the principal designee, which is a stipend of $30 a day per the master teacher contract. And the interim period was 90 days. So this would need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just want to say thank you.
Yes.
Yes, and I think this is well worth it.
Yeah, and I think they both did an excellent job.
Yes.
Yes, 90-day period.
I think they're both glad to be back where they're at right now, but I think they've both done a super job.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Dr. Walton.
Great, we have tonight for Neola policies for second read, the sections of finance, professional staff, and support staff. There were no changes from last month to this month in those three sections. So if you'd like any changes, we certainly can do that, or we can go through the process to approve a second read, and then we can move to approval.
I'm good with it. Those three sections.
Is that a motion?
We do not have a motion yet. I will make a motion to approve the
Motion for second read.
motion for second read of the finance, professional staff, and support staff sections.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor of approving the second read, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, so now that you've approved second read, you can go ahead and make a motion to approve these three, or we can bring that next month.
I'm good with it, so I'll make the motion that we approve the three policies for finance, professional staff, and support staff, Neola policies.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second to approve these sections of Neola policies. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed-
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Are we done with Neola then?
No,
Oh,
Mr. Slater.
All right, Grove Poseyville would like to use North Elementary Gym parking lot, grass areas, and soccer field for their celebration event. They will need to provide us proof of insurance, and we won't charge them for our policy for using the facility. However, if custodial staff is needed, then they'll have to pay for that.
Looking for a motion to approve this request from Grove Poseyville.
I make a motion, we approve the request to Grove Poseyville to use our facilities for the celebration.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on this?
How long is this going to last where it's dark in the middle of the day?
It's close to 4 minutes in
Okay,
Poseyville.
okay. I was listening to a thing on Vincennes today and they were talking there. I don't know how many different groups they were bringing out because of this, because of crowds and everything. And then they said, and this is all for a 4-minute eclipse.
You're still predicting a
I
cloudy day. where
still, I
it's-
still do not, I still cannot see that many people.
We just need the weather, man. It's gonna be. a cloudy
I
day, so
just
it's
need to
not-
make sure I walk outside and look. I don't.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Slagle.
This one I'll read word for word because it's a lot. An agreement with drug cost reporting and Consociate to assist us in completing an annual RxDC reporting. So beginning in December 22, we're required to report information regarding prescription drug and healthcare spending to the Department of Labor. At that time, we were required to report out the data for 2020, 21, and 22. Data reporting for 23 is due June 30th of this year. This reporting is complex and requires gathering of data in multiple sources and combining the data into the required formats for submission. Consociate and drug cost reporting handling this compliance for us in 2022 for $1,750 per reporting year. The agreement for 23 shall also cost $1,750.
Looking for a motion to approve the agreement with Consociate and drug cost reporting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement with Consociate and drug cost reporting.
Get a second.
I'll second it.
On to discussion.
So this is an after the fact collection of data.
Yes.
Is there some way that we can, as it's happening, enter this data instead of coming back and?
That's a great question. It's a 2-year-old report that we're having to do. And I'd have to look to the lady to my left and ask Amy exactly, because I know the reporting itself is extremely time consuming.
We
That's what I'm-
looked at this as a team, as a health insurance committee team, and the number of different sources that this data actually gets pulled from, the manpower. One, we don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not what we know how to do, and Consociate does
Okay.
know how to do it.
I'm just wondering if for the future 2 years, because we'll probably have to do this again in 2 years. Is there a way that we can
It's
do it?
something, the data that they're doing right now, we're caught up now. The government came in 22 and said, we want it all the way back to 2020.
Right.
But now we're caught up. So what they're asking for now is the data from 23, because that year, and it takes, as you know from getting insurance bills,
Mhm.
it takes about a 6-month look back period to get all of the claims from the full year of 23. So this is probably as soon as you would be able to get a full year to them.
Okay.
And they require it at the end of June.
What exactly are we tracking or keeping track of? How much our people have used
Yes.
different prescriptions?
And the cost that it costs them. So I think what's happening is the government wants to know, what is everybody getting charged out there, so that somewhere down the line, this is just my theory, somewhere down the line, they can kind of get that a little more structured and
If what I'm thinking about this, to me, that's just an absolute huge job. The insurance company maybe could do it a little bit better because they'd have the,
right, that's why we're requesting that they do that.
Yeah, and it would be easy if everybody just used medications that were at the clinic, right?
Yeah.
But they don't
Yeah.
or can't.
Right,
So-
not everything is there.
And, I mean, if I took something, I wouldn't want you knowing what I'm taking.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, I am completely good with,
yeah, that's what I thought first. It was just a clinic, but it's just.
No,
it's
No,
this
it's
is
all-
that
it's all-
went through the health insurance.
That's,
And that's kind of a point of discussion, is that we may want to consider, this is something that we're gonna have to do annually, and so we may want to, and in the future, just begin this as a renewal, as a.
That's what I was
it's
wondering.
part of the
Is
contract for,
this something you can set up for them to be collecting it throughout the year that may save us some money
And no,
next year?
because they bring it to me each year just to kind of do it now. And like I said, it's not, they have the data.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of putting it all together and then putting it in the formats that the government asks for. And you know how government
Oh,
is.
yeah, it'll change every year.
It could change, so they probably don't want to start on it until it's due,
Yeah.
when they have the new format provided to them.
Okay.
No other discussion. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Dr. Wolf.
All right, we have the wireless working solutions, and I will introduce Dave Hadley. Dave Hadley is owner
Correct.
of Wireless Networking Solutions, and is here to help answer any questions that you might have. On the docket tonight, we have the approval for the junior high and senior high building. This will wrap up our 3-phase project that we originally thought we might need to do in 4 phases, with each year $100,000 of that coming from our Homeland Security grant. So far, we've not invested any corporation dollars into this 3-phase project. And so what we're asking tonight is to go ahead and be able to finish out the whole project in this one last phase,
100,000 of it coming from the grant, with the additional 53,000 coming from operations fund. And we'll let Dave kind of explain what the projects have been so far and then how this is gonna wrap that up.
Sure. So, in wireless networking solutions, that doesn't really describe what we do anymore. We started off in point-to-point wireless back in 1999, but what we do now, 85% of what we do is security in K-12 education across the state. So from Goshen schools all the way to South Spencer schools and all points in between. So usually it's video surveillance and access control. In your case, your primary need is your access control. We want to secure your perimeter. So the most cost-effective thing you can do, and the most important thing to do, is not the sexiest thing to do. And it's putting contact sensors on your exterior doors. So prop doors is by far the biggest option or obstacle that we have in securing a building. Doors propped open, doors dogged down that we didn't know about, sweatshirts plugged into the door, all kinds of things. We see it every day. And people think about, we're gonna harmonize our front entrance. Normally that's not where the bad guy's coming from. They're gonna come through a gym door, the loading dock, they're gonna come through the cafeteria door, or that door that just doesn't shut right. And we may not know about it, but every kid in the building knows about it. So when we put a contact sensor on the door, that's going to alert us if that door opens up. So we can do it in a couple different ways. Obviously, in the elementaries that we've already done, you gotta get kids out to the playground, you gotta get them back into the building. So that contact sensor cannot alarm immediately because it's gonna go off all day and we're not gonna pay attention to it. So we get a delay for that. So usually it's a 3-minute delay. That lets you get your 26 second graders out to the playground and then back into the building. If it's an emergency exit only, it's gonna alarm immediately. So you're gonna get a notification, text message, email, that door 9 is propped open. And door 9 might be a bank of 6 doors. I don't care which one's propped open, but the door is propped open there, and I need to go secure the door. In some cases, we also do the video surveillance. You can do this, it'd just be a little clunkier because you don't have one that integrates into our system, but you can review the video. Who put that door into an unsecure state? So a lot of times we're changing behavior. I needed to go get something from my car, so I propped the door open to go out, and I left the door in an unsecure state. Or I've got band practice or something like that. I got to get kids in the building tonight. I'm gonna leave that undone. Or we got a basketball game, and we dogged down the doors, but when we got busy, and we forgot to dog down the doors because we had to get home because I got a sick kid, and now the doors to the building were left unlocked all weekend long. So those type of things. So again, it's not the sexiest thing, but it's the most important thing to know the position of those doors. In this project also, there is the entrance at the main entrance of the high school, and then the student entrance of the high school, where you have a lot of kids coming in. We want to secure those doors. We have to do some repairs to those doors in order for us to put our contact sensors, because doors just don't completely shut. So if we put our sensor, you're going to get alarms all the time. So we're going to go ahead and fix those. We're getting rid of all your mag locks too. And I don't know if you know what a mag lock is, but it's a magnetic lock. It holds that door shut. I despise these in schools. It's not a safe environment for school. You do have the T-Rex that buzzes to open that door to let somebody out of the building. That's one way of doing it. They also have a request to exit. The problem with a mag lock is if it fails, it'll either be locked open all the time or it'll be closed all the time. You can get people trapped in the building, and that's why I don't like them. It's not a proper application for a school. Put them in a prison all you want, but you have to have 600 or 1,200 pounds of force to open that door if that mag lock fails and fails the lock. So we'll be replacing all that.
Now we'll go to like a solenoid style or a latch.
Yeah, so you'll either have a crash bar with a solenoid, so that crash bar will electronically retract. We're using quite a retractions on those. So you have a power supply that opens that door. you will always have free egress from the building. So with the crash bar, you always have an exit to the building or securing people coming into your building. And then the other one we used to call an electric strike, and you probably see them around the building. They have two little teeth that hold together to keep your door locked. And then when you use your card swipe, it opens that up to let you into the building.
So this includes all of the above. You're
Yeah,
you're
so-
putting the hardware and,
Right. What we did originally, we would create a grand plan to do all your buildings. We had enough money to do the first two phases, which took care of South Terrace and North Elementary. This one, we didn't have quite enough. We were trying to get the whole thing done. We just didn't get the cost down to where it needed to be to get the whole project done. So we were going to do part of it and then do the rest of it next year. But then we looked at it and said, if we can get just a little bit more, we can do the whole project for you this year. And that way you'd be completely done at all your buildings.
So do we
When will
currently,
this-
go ahead, Larry.
When will this happen?
You have to prove it
Yeah, if
first.
we- if
You'll
we
have it done
approve-
before
if we
school
approve it,
starts.
When will
Yes.
it happen?
You'll have it before school starts.
Next year.
Yes.
You talked about the student entrance and the main school door entrance. Pretty quickly getting those doors secured because
Yes.
they're in an unsecured state right now. But we can get that fixed pretty quickly and then doing the whole project over the summer. when kids are
What
here.
about back in the shop class where they're doing a project that they need to get outside and inside frequently during a period? Can that just be shut off? Can the teacher shut that door off, or is that?
So we can program that so that door, that we're not monitoring that door for a period of time. We can program that door to, if it's a secure door, we can program that door to be unlocked. So the door will be shut, but they have free egress in and out of that door. We don't like situations where, and I know it happens, where the shop doors open because it's hot and you want to get air in there. That's an opportunity for somebody to get in your building. that shouldn't be.
Sometimes you need to get equipment in and out.
Absolutely. And same thing, we can have that happen where it's a delayed process. So
And that
give
can,
them 10
that can
minutes.
be
to get
done
things
and
in.
originated from the shop, or that has to be done through the office, or has to be done through one?
You can do it, several people can program it. We usually like to have a small group that does the programming. So if you're saying, hey, I need this schedule for next Tuesday, I gotta move all my band equipment out. I need that door unsecured for this period of time. We can do it that way. There's a web view, makes it very simple to do. It's a couple of clicks. I'll grab my phone real quick. I'll show you how quickly you can open that door using your app.
It will take a lot of training and a lot of changes for our staff and our students, the way they are right now, especially down in that area. And
So they, again, we can set up some type of scheduling for you. We can work with your staff to create that.
And for athletics, kids dress in the school and then go out the end gym doors
Okay?
and come back in. Now, is that still gonna be possible, or do they have to walk all the way around the whole building to do that?
But you tell me what you want to happen and we can program the system to happen that way. So,
I think they probably ought to be able to come in and out the end, especially like after school. Maybe not during school. It's locked down during school.
Well, PE, if you're going outside.
Oh, that's true too. That's true too. And you don't know if you're going outside, and you don't know when you're gonna come back in if the weather gets bad. I'm just,
now, when they go outside for PE, are they supervised?
Yes.
oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I hope so.
I would hope so too. So we can work through that, to find a, so rarely is security about convenience. It's about security. But we'd also have to make things make sense, or do things that make sense. So we can schedule doors to be unlocked during certain periods of time. Now, also, we'll be installing a lockdown button like we have the other buildings. So if you have a threat that you know, there's a suspicious person in the parking lot, and you have reason to believe that they're a threat to your building, with one button, I just put the building in lockdown. So what it does is any doors that were unlocked, they are now locked. But also, people have an access card. Just because I have an access card, and I'm supposed to be able to get into this building from 7 o'clock until 5 o'clock, but now we're in lockdown. So I can't get in. Only administrators and law enforcement can get in during that lockdown period. That's the way we program it. We can change that for you if you'd like to.
Who is doing the monitoring on this, or who is getting the alerts?
That's the staff that you want. So usually your principals are getting that and the superintendent staff. Sometimes it's the technology staff that will get it as well. Whoever you deem that's important, if that door is propped open, I need to know about it, or they need to know
And it
about
can
it.
be multiple people. not just-
Absolutely. And we want it to be multiple people. So the other thing is we don't want false reporting either. So again, saying the time, hey, this is a loading dock door. They're taking the trash out. That's going to take some time. So we'll give them 7 minutes, take the trash out and come back in. But if it's open more than 7 minutes, something's wrong. I need to be notified of it. I can get on the cameras and look. I can walk down there. What's going on at my door? So,
You had mentioned it doesn't integrate with our camera system, but
correct.
you've answered my question then.
Oh.
If it's the same folks getting alerted, you have access to the cameras.
That's right. So we try to make sure that those entrances all have a camera on them. Now, and we didn't do your system, but
I think what you said at one point, you could set it up basically however we wanted it to
correct.
set
It's
up. Okay.
completely customizable. We'll make recommendations, but it's your system. You own it. I'm not maintaining it. Or I maintain it, but I'm not programmed the way I want it. You're having it programmed the way you want it.
Our tech team has been trained now that we have South Terrace and North Elementary and Central Office.
They're already on this.
They already know how to use the system.
And you always have the crash bar if something happens inside that you can get out.
We always want to
It might set off an alarm, but you can get out.
That's correct. I can get egress.
So we ended up with a redundant camera on one of our earlier projects.
Okay.
I assume we figured out the issue on that.
Is that what we referred to
Yes,
earlier?
we were talking a little earlier. You kind of explained that if you want, or I can.
Go ahead.
So we went over and looked at it today. It's actually, it's not necessarily a redundant camera. It's that the doors are not actually programmed the way we had originally intended when we walked through with Officer Carter. They've got that front door completely unlocked all the time, when the original plan was that door would be locked and that camera would be the first egress and would be Buzz. So he's gonna stay tonight. We're gonna go over and look at it tomorrow morning and just have a conversation, and see if we would need to fix that, or if it just makes more sense and just kind of work through that, so.
And that's actually more than a camera. Let's call it, it's a door station. It's an AFO. So what the intent was, when we came in originally, went through with your SRO, and our mission is always to create as many barriers as possible. So that makes it difficult for that person to get in. So at the time, that front door was unlocked all day long and let you into the vestibule. And then your AFO or door station was inside the vestibule. So we just we eliminated the barrier. We let them into the second barrier. So if they get through that door, then they're into your office, then you're into your building. What we talked about was having the AFO on outside the building. It's where we prefer it to be, and that being a door that can control access control. So we made that an electrified door. So that what happens is we program that for the kids to get in the morning. So that door's unlocked, let all the kids in, and then when school starts, that becomes a locked door. There's 2 ways to get in. You present your card, because you're a staff member and you're allowed access in the building, or you press that button. That button rings to a monitor inside the office. They ask you what your business is. I'm here to pick up Jimmy. He's got a dentist appointment. Great, you get buzzed into the vestibule area. In the vestibule area, I believe now you have your Raptor system. So they put in their card in the Raptor system. They get cleared. Now the SRO his opinion was there's no need to take them to the office now. That's up to you to decide. They can wait in the vestibule for their student to come out, or then drop off their trumpet or whatever they're bringing, and they didn't have to have as much traffic into the office. But that becomes your decision on how you operate that. But there is another access control on that door into the office. So this office staff can buzz them into the office, or they can wait in the vestibule.
Let's just turn them off, right? It's just not been used right now because the door is unlocked. So
It is
we're gonna-
functional.
It is functional. So we're gonna
It
work
is.
on it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
We're gonna-
I'm gonna find out what was done on it, but that little sign that I saw the picture of, is covering the button that you press to talk to the staff.
And the cameras we have now are separate, different entity from what we would have.
Right,
They,
right.
they
They're
cover
just
the,
operating as two
they cover
separate
the same,
systems.
okay.
But you can still use them in conjunction, it's just a little more
Yeah.
clunky. Because now I gotta go, okay, door 9, I need to go, let me find door 9 here, where if we had them together, that video is gonna pop up. It's gonna show you who just put, it goes in full record and it shows you who just put that door in an unsecure state.
We know how much estimate of what we would save if we do this all at once versus.
When we were looking at the quote, I think we scaled it back, and I think it was around 196, and I think we're around 153 or 54,
Yes.
something like that right now. So we looked at ways that we say, we wanted to do work on some other doors. We made the priority those main entrances, because those are the doors you have the most problem with. We were lucky in that one of the doors you had already had repaired, that's an athletic door, that's already been fixed. So we didn't have to work on that one.
Yeah, the 100,000 of this is coming out of the Homeland Security's grant, so at some point we would potentially lose that money, right? If we didn't spend it.
Yes, we should at least approve at least the 100,000 for the grant, and we could, if we needed to, work on figuring out how much to do with that versus that, we could do that. One of the reasons with that Homeland Security grant, it's underfunded each year across the state. And so typically schools are awarded whatever their priority project is. And so that's, if you'll remember, before I came, we were getting about 15 grand in our Homeland Security grant each year because we were only writing it for about
Yeah,
30
so-
and then we were 50-50,
Yeah.
And so when we write it for a project and then we match it with something that we already have, like we matched this with our school counselors. We were going to pay for them anyway, and so we were able to match that against that. So we're able to typically get the full 100,000 because we're doing a single project. So if we needed to move this, we'd probably be talking about having to do a project of 53,000, or more because of travel, extra travel, and all of that.
We did
And so
two
we
phases.
would lose some of that grant money next year if we push some of this off to that.
The other thing that happens with the security grant, they'll give you priority 1 and priority 2, and I've had a lot of my schools. And it's your money, you gotta spend it wisely. If your priority is your SROs, and which some of my bigger schools, they have a really big amount of money because they, got a school up north, Mishawaka Penn, they got 22 buildings. They got a lot of SROs. So they're gonna use up that $100,000 for the SROs. I've got other buildings like Carroll Consolidated. It's all one building. They have one SRO. So if they do priority 1 as an SRO, what the state's been doing, and your security is priority 2, not which is 1 or 2, but which is less is what they fund. So if your SRO is less, they'll fund that. If your security grant is less, they'll fund that. They kind of been splitting the baby in half is what they're doing, so.
Okay, I'm looking at this $53,000 that we're paying. Where does this come from? The operations fund, right? Is this something we planned on spending out operations, or is this something we're just adding to it now and
We
saying?
did not plan for it. I do believe it's okay. We would be okay if you chose to, but
And I don't even pretend to know where we're at on finances or anything like that, but I just think spending $53,000 is a lot of money at one time. I'm all for it. I'll spend anything I've got, but I don't want to spend more than what we have. Now, the first 2 years when we done South Terrace and North Elementary, they were each $100,000.
we kept it under budget and we used central office as well we were able to do central office in the bus garage to do those 3 areas and kept
and
that
done it
budget.
all under 100,000 each year. And were we planning that this year that we wouldn't be able to do the high school for 100,000?
We were gonna do it in 2 phases. We were gonna do part
Oh,
of it
get
this year.
100,000 each year?
Yeah, because originally our cost was about 197,000, so we were going to do it in 2.
So what are we gonna do next year? Are we gonna get this 100,000 or
Well, we've been talking about some projects
using it
that
for
we could
something
do.
else?
Mhm.
Okay. And then,
What we didn't want to
if
do
we
is split the
wait till
building.
next year, we could do the 2 and not use the 53,000, but we wouldn't have something else to do at that time. Is that right?
So what he would just describe to you was the fact that if we
If
think
we
about
get-
splitting it next year,
100,000 instead of 153.
right, but we won't be able to get that whole 100,000 next year because we're gonna say, oh, the high school, because it's gonna be more than 53,000 because you're making 2 trips,
Yes, okay.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And,
We would
and
prefer,
plus,
well, we
expenses are
have
gonna
local
go up over the
personnel
year.
to do the project now. But yes, we're coming in, setting up and starting all over again on the project. It takes more for us to do that. Plus, we want your building to be secure. So,
and that's,
I think our operations fund budget was close to $1 million in capital projects that we normally spend a year. So
Okay.
53,000 out of that budget is.
Yeah, and like I said, I have no idea. I just need to ask, do we have this money, you know, or you gonna come next month and say, well, we've used all the operations fund?
if glass is broken in the door, does that trigger the sensor?
so no, because that is an intrusion device. So it would determine an intrusion device, which is some of what you had before. So when I started working with you, you had our Cantech access control. It was 15 years old or more on a few doors, but you had an intrusion panel. So that was telling you if glass broke or if there was motion in the building, and it was only turned on at night. Well, your most valuable commodity is here from about 6 in the morning until about 3:30 in the afternoon. And so the monies that you were spending on that would got freed up for that too. I think if I remember correctly, it was around $900 a month that you'd spent for 17 years for an intrusion panel that only protected your building at night.
So the recommendation of the administration is to do this all at once, supplementing with operations.
Yes.
Is there a monthly fee or?
No, this is your system.
This is-
So once we install it, we'll maintain it for you. So then, of course, you have your warranty on labor and materials, all that. But we maintain it for you, but we train your staff on how to run it. We're not monitoring for you, charging monitor fees. There's no reason for us to do that. We're in Lafayette, we have we're opening in Evansville office and South Bend office, but you're here. You need, when the door's propped open, you know who propped that door open and can take care of that behavior.
And this integrates with our current badge system.
It does. It's actually the same badge system. It's upgraded. So you already had Cantech. We're giving you the latest version of Cantech. You've been running on the new software Cantech on your old controllers that are 15 years old. One thing that Cantech does a really good job of is they never abandon you. The train track never runs out. You may not get all the new features, but it's still going to work. So now what we're doing is we're replacing controllers and you're getting all the new features, but you're still using the Cantech software. Just the upgraded version of it.
And the blue buttons hit in the office to lock down all the doors.
That is correct.
Do you just pull it back out and everything's back to normal?
No. So it's how you want to run it. So there's a couple of different options. We do have 2 different options. There is a twist lock, but everybody's been notified that, you went into lockdown, that's stated. We put it in the office where your office staff is there to make sure that somebody doesn't take you out. But we can make that so that the administrator has to take you out of lockdown.
Sure.
It's always okay to go into lockdown. It's not okay to come out of lockdown too early.
So through
So,
the app,
what's that?
is that then taken out through the app?
Yes, you can do it electronically. They also make a manual where you have to have a special key. So they have the twist lock to take it back out, or you can have a special key. most of our customers don't like the special key because they
Some
never
don't
can
lose
find
it,
it.
right? Yeah.
Where did we put that thing? Or they tape it up above.
Right.
They're really helpful, so. The potential is there also that you could tie it into other things. We have some customers that are asking us to put it into a dialer system too. So when they go into lockdown, it'll automatically dial to your 911 dispatch. There's other schools that don't want to do that because we went into lockdown, but are we really in a lockdown situation? And sometimes they want to verify that before they get law enforcement on the way.
This is more of a question for you guys, like, who is in charge of it? Like, let's say we decide Sean Fisher just trusts everybody and decides he's over that door, alerting him all the time, he's just gonna turn that one off. Is somebody, you can't do
It's
that.
kind of like a dual control system, like our finances. Your building principals definitely have some control, but tech does a lot of the actual changing. And so they're gonna work together with the tech team to make sure that it gets set up the way that they want. So it's a little bit, I'm not gonna say that they couldn't figure out how to get in and do it, because they probably could. But I think that most of the time it's kind of a, hey, I really want it to work this way, and then they're working with tech to.
We can also customize access too. So you say they only want these
Yeah,
features
each of your
available to them. Yeah, I can do that where your sign-on only gives you access to this part of the program.
And I will say that, I mean, Dave and I have walked around this building probably 4 different times to get this plan, and every time we've had both of the building administrators and Danny with us to look at every single door and what does this door need and what does this, and all of that.
Danny knows a lot about your doors.
Yeah.
I just thought of another question. Can this be separated from high school and junior high, or is this all one entity then when we go on lockdown?
So you could separate that. I wouldn't separate because your buildings are combined.
So if a door is propped open, probably Steve and Sean would both have access to shut it off or whatever, depending where it would be happening at. Okay.
So so there's 2 different things. You're gonna get a notification that the door has been propped open. That doesn't mean I need to go into lockdown. It just means I got a door that's been propped open. So then I can go secure the door, I can check my cameras. What caused that? Was that a staff member again going out to get something? Or was that somebody letting a student that's been expelled from campus into the building and we've had both. That's when you go into lockdown. So the notifications can go to different people too. I got a door propped open or I'm in lockdown. Those are 2 different notifications. They may not all go to the same people.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. If later on, if you want me to show you that app, to show you how to lock down the door, I'll do that.
You just confused me. I don't want to be in.
So at this point, we'd be looking for a motion to approve this quote.
I think I do.
I'll make a motion that we approve the figures and funds the way it's presented to us here in this note.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? We've had quite a bit.
I will say I do feel better after having that discussion though.
Good. It was cool.
And it is already in operation in the 2 elementary schools. Okay, awesome.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Mr. Slavin.
All right, so talking with our technology director, Sherry, we want to purchase, for consideration for you all to agree to purchase management methods for the district. This is a software cloud security solution for Google Workspace at the cost of $4,340.
Looking for a motion to approve this
cloud security solution for Google Workspace.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second
discussion.
That's an annual amount.
It is. We want to try it this year. We had a demo for a couple of weeks. We already have what we call Go Guardian on our computers. This works more in our Google space, so that if kids are in documents and if they're working in the documents, Go Guardian might not pick that up. So kids, with Go Guardian, we've limited chats and different things that kids or students can't access all the time. So what they've done is now they're using Google and they're starting a Google document or something like that, and they find the creative. So this is us trying
They're
to.
using technology to its maximum.
Yes.
And I see it says cloud security. Does that mean this is stored in the cloud? I start
Google-
melting down
Google
when I
is-
hear cloud.
Google is all in the cloud. So if we, let's say from HR, if we have documents or from finance or our treasurer going back and forth, we have options when you do that to only those people with the link, all of North Posey, MSD North Posey, things like that checks. So if I did that and forgot to check one of those off to be more secure, then this will actually pick up on it. If it looks like it's certain numbers, that should be kept private. So like I said, during the demo, I believe we had 2 or 3 hits on this already, and that wasn't the full version of it.
Me and the cloud don't get along. I've lost a whole lot of pictures in the cloud someplace. I don't
They're
know
just
where
floating around.
Yeah, they're out there.
You owe more money.
Yes.
That could be too.
I do.
I just paid it.
And so I noticed in her explanation, she said that there's a neighboring school corporation that has implemented this.
Yes.
Thought that it was very useful.
We have a motion, second, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Slagle.
All right, junior high and high school would like to purchase 20 tables that are 71 inches round to replace current tables that we have. That'd be a cost that the schools are paying for $6,710.28.
So these already have a location that they're
Replacing,
replacing.
yes.
Looking for a motion to approve the tables.
I make a motion, we purchase the tables for Mr. Kavanaugh.
They're gonna purchase. We're just making a motion that they
Oh,
will do.
okay.
Yeah, second.
I'll second that.
Mr. Kavanaugh would like that.
Yeah. He prefers your version.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Slagle.
All right, we have some professional leave coming up. We have Mr. Mark Kirkman taking a trip to USI. Only cost of there is subs, and that would come out of our educational fund. We have a number of folks, as you can see, I believe 18 total, that would be taking a class at the library here for diffusing disruptive behavior at a cost of $1,995 plus sub cost. That is being paid out of special education, our special education grant. Sherry Schroeder and Matthew Utley would like to go to the technology vendor fair in Evansville. There is no cost for that. Bradley Wallace would like to continue his extensive training with flagger training up in Indianapolis. That'd be $400 plus the cost of the sub, coming out of our education fund. Pam Wilson, I think I'd like to go to this one with her, the Lego League Challenge in Houston, Texas. It'd be $600, and $600, that's just the cost of registration. So the cost of registration and the sub. And then Mark Kirkman Training American history, landmark Supreme Court cases in Jasper, and sub-cost only.
Can I make just 2 notes on Bradley Wallace and Pam Wilson? Both of their registration fees can be covered by grants we currently have. We have some registration fees still open. Sorry, I didn't catch that before.
Alright, need a motion to approve the professional leave request.
I'll move to approve the professional leave request.
Second, discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. And reports and information.
So your good news, you all got the good news report from Joanne today, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. So you have it.
That regional meeting, ISBA said we need to know tonight who is planning on going to that. Amy?
Yes.
I don't think I ever replied to, I would like to attend that. Should have a good wrap up of the legislative session.
I was told Jennifer, Michelle, and Greg could attend, so Vince, I'll add you to that. I think Todd said he was gonna go, Larry and Lindsay.
When do you know, when do you need to know? I don't have anything going on. I will go as long as my health is just, and that's day to day, so.
I work.
I would like to go, but
I'll look at the cancellation policy.
So the next regular board meeting will be, actually, we need to talk about that.
Oh,
We did not
yeah.
have school that day. So do we want to change that?
I'm gonna be out of town. That matters.
We don't like to let you get out of these settings.
but when will you be back? That's what we'll ask.
Probably Tuesday.
I hear it chills that night too, so.
We're out of school May 13th.
That's the celebration,
April 8th.
April 8th.
Oh, April. Oh, I'm skipping.
Supposedly gridlocks everywhere.
Oh, my golf cart charged so I can get.
You better, might not even have electricity.
That's true.
And, yeah,
I mean, selfishly, I'd love to move it to Wednesday when I don't work. But I'm open, so whatever.
We had a vacation scheduled for that whole week. I was gonna stay until Tuesday, but it does not matter to me.
I could do Tuesday too.
Tuesday the 9th. I'm available practically anytime. I don't want to do it the 16th. I've got a 2-hour dentist procedure that day.
we couldn't move it more than probably a week anyways to keep claim dockets and all that stuff straight. On
Tuesday. Is that-
Tuesday or Wednesday works for me. Either one.
Yeah, I'm good for any.
My daughter's birthday Tuesday. Okay. Say that.
I don't really need to.
I'm gonna miss it too, this match one way or the other.
Yeah, all here.
Jennifer, you said the Tuesday,
I was gonna leave on Tuesday morning, so
so it doesn't matter. to
it
you
doesn't
then.
matter, no.
Wednesday's better for you.
I just won't be there,
Yeah.
yeah. Then why don't we do, I can see that is better for you guys. Right?
You can do Wednesday?
I mean, I think so, yeah, right? I'm sure some kid has something, but
Yeah.
I'm not working on that.
Yes.
And then are you gonna do executive session at North Elementary and then bring the back meeting over to the central office, or are you gonna do everything at North Elementary?
How inconvenient is it if we do everything in North Elementary?
I'm not gonna answer your question.
It's easier, it's easier just to walk across the lot,
Yeah, that's fine.
then we can try out the new office.
Yeah, we need to set
Set up.
up anyways.
Okay, so the meeting will be April 10th.
Okay, so exec at North and then move it over, okay.
5:30.
You're gonna love the new setup.
I'm sure.
And I'll go by and check, see if there's anybody there. I didn't see Lois, so I guess she was,
She's here.
no. I got a note on my phone
You
saying,
didn't come get me?
Does anyone have any
I saw you
questions
pull in.
For the good of the cause.
We'll need more members to stay and sign Steve's.
We should have some other things to sign as well.
If there is nothing else, I'm looking for
I'll
a
make a
motion
motion to adjourn the meeting.
I was-
I'll second that.
I don't even know who to push for the second.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Adjourned at 7:41. Yes. And thank you all